like Brendan Fraser truly carried this whole movie? I don't know.
I thought he did.
I think
I thought
he
he
could.
did.
It's like
Yeah.
a John Wick. It's
It's not like a John Wick.
Symbol-
How the
it's
fuck?
a symbol
How the
story.
fuck is this like John Wick?
I did have teary-eyed from it. For sure from the ending, I was crying a little bit. It was good.
How's it going, guys? What are we doing today?
What's going on? It's Omid and Alvin here, and Amir on the back.
How's it going?
Today is a somber movie review because we just came out of Darren Aronofsky's The Whale.
Yep.
It was a heavy movie, a very deep, no pun intended.
Come on,
A
man.
deep movie, a hard movie to watch. And we
Yeah.
just came out of it like 10 minutes ago. Want to go like, what are your kind of thoughts of the movie? It's a very simple,
It's a very
simple slice of life movie of Brendan Fraser being an overweight.
I don't know if I'd call it slice of life.
It is a slice of life in all senses of it. Well,
I don't know.
term it.
I don't know.
Or is it drama? Because
Well,
I don't
it's a week of his life.
I guess.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't like calling it a slice of life. I
A
don't think.
character piece, a character study.
This-
I just put it as a drama. Just
This
an
review is
Oscar.
gonna be spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers only.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
There's not much to say about the movie, but
yeah. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just quick synopsis. It's pretty much just about a morbidly obese man played by Brendan Fraser, who we find out pretty early on that is essentially terminally ill, and we're just experiencing.
Failure, stage 3 of these steps.
Yeah, so we're pretty much experiencing his last week because he doesn't want to get treatment, so he's pretty much content with dying, and we're just seeing how he tries to maybe close some of the loose ends in his life, reconnect with his daughter
Yeah.
before he dies. But
I know these rules can feel constraining, but remember, the point of this course is to learn how to write clearly and persuasively. Think about that. Think about the truth of your argument. You're an amazing person, Ellie. I couldn't ask for a more incredible daughter.
Are you actually trying to parent me right now?
Who would want me to be a part of their life?
You don't stay in touch with Mom?
She really only tells me things about you,
Why?
because that's all I want to know about.
Why'd you gain all that weight?
Someone close to me passed away, and it had an effect on me.
yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? 'Cause,
My initial thought when I finished the movie, I leaned over to them and I was like, oh, do I think this is a well-made movie? Yes. Did I like the movie? I don't know, because if you guys know, there's like the things going on the internet saying that this movie is a potentially problematic movie and triggering movie, and when I finished it, I can 100% see why people say that, because it shows like, oh, the
Binge eating
and depression, and like just like having suicidal thoughts of like just being content with dying and everything like that. So it felt like a very deep movie in that regard. So I had no appetite watching this entire movie. We got popcorn and I literally did not touch it.
yeah, Alvin, what are your thoughts?
Kind of similar to Omid, where this is probably gonna be. I'm not gonna make too many jokes this
Yeah, this will
video.
be a more serious
Yeah,
movie review.
it's a sad movie. It's just, man, from the get-go, you just feel the actual weight of the story.
Really?
And what you said? You said this is a heavy movie. I can't do a pun.
It's
All
okay.
right.
I'm joking.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know what else to say. This is just, Amir said it best. It's kind of one note, but I think that one note really.
Yeah, I'll go
It's-
into my
it's
thoughts.
just
I want to
effective.
know your thoughts before I go into mine, because I was really surprised that after we finished it. It was in a smaller theater, smaller room,
10 people.
maybe like 15 or like 10 people in our
Yeah.
10.
actual theater. But yeah, it seems like you guys liked it a bit more than I did.
Yeah. I think the performances were really good.
Yeah.
Brendan was great.
This, I really don't know what to say about this movie. It's just, you
Would-
kind of know what to expect going into it. It's just very sad.
Were you ever surprised? Were there any moments where you felt like you learned something new about, I don't know, maybe life or?
Yeah, I don't know about that. It was just definitely an emotional movie.
The one thing that I did like was that for Brendan Fraser, that like, oh, I think we all have this mentality sometimes where he was just so positive that, oh, people have lack the inability to not care. Everyone cares. Everyone is good, and it's like, oh, you do want to believe that. It's like, oh, you don't want to believe that someone can be shitty. So like when he just talks about when he's talking to his ex-wife about his daughter, and the wife was like, man, she's such a bad person. She's an evil person. And Brendan Fraser's like, no, she's a good person. She cares so much. That like, oh,
Yeah.
that was, I thought, to see how positive he was in this movie, that was good to kind of mitigate how sad and depressing it was, at least for him he was an optimistic person. I think that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I can go into my thoughts. So, yeah, we were saying earlier, this is a Darren Aronofsky picture, and I think he always kind of tries to do more like, not controversial movies, but like, kind of like provokes and starts conversation. And yeah, when I got out of the movie theater, my first statement to Alvin was, "Oh, I think it is a movie with really good performances, very good performances in a mediocre movie." Like, I think, like Alvin was saying earlier, that I think it's a little one note. It almost feels like, oh, just a string of scenes, like, oh, sad scene after sad scene, and it never feels like you kind of go on a ride, or at least like Almost
release the tension.
a roller coaster of you just kind of going down.
Yeah, they never release the tension, and there's never really any jokes, which that's fine if they didn't want to do that. But I was telling them that even when they would try to make a joke, it was an uncomfortable joke, because like it would be jokes making fun of fat people. So I was like, of all movies to make like a fat joke, I'm like, is this really the movie to do that? So like, there's a moment where she has like the wheelchair, and she's like, "Oh, I found you like a fat man chair," and I'm like, no one laughed in the theater.
I didn't know if that was supposed to be a joke, but I
I
can
think
see.
what I think for
I think
sure
it was written as a joke. They had the pause, like,
Yeah,
"Oh, what is that?
yeah.
What the fuck do you think it is? It's a fat man chair."
Yeah.
Like,
I will say, just talking about it right now, it's very apparent that every single character in this movie is flawed. So
I like that.
Have you guys noticed that?
I did. I like
Liz
that.
flawed?
Liz was an
thought she
enabler. She's an enabler in all
exactly.
senses
She
of
kept
it.
giving him
Oh,
the
that's true.
food.
That's true.
I got you a double meatball parm with extra cheese.
Extra
and I'm like,
cheese.
yeah.
She was like, "Oh, what am I doing?"
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was one thing that kind of bothered, or not bothered me. It was like, man,
It's real.
no, not about that. It was like, dude, Brendan Fraser's character was for sure selfish. I think he's, yeah, we were talking like, oh, he's a positive person, and he tries to be good. But,
Yeah.
he is the kind of person when they're so stubborn and set in their ways. Like, man, you are so selfish. You don't care about essentially your death, how it's going to impact other people in your life.
Yeah.
He never truly kind of confronts that or cares about that.
Yeah.
So that was my like, man, like, fuck this guy. He's just so selfish.
You
Or
didn't-
not fuck him, but like, oh, sorry, I can't.
You didn't feel any.
sympathize. I
You didn't
can't-
feel any pity for him.
that was actually I never sympathized with him. I only pitied the character. And
I
think
see.
That's why I never felt connected. I think I sympathized with him, and I still thought he was a selfish character. I thought he was a good character because like
Mhm.
his whole mentality was like, oh, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna leave her with so much money. And it's like, how about you get yourself healed and be a dad? And
Yeah,
be there
exactly.
for her life.
Use the money you saved up.
To save
Get
her-
yourself better.
Yeah, save your own life and be
Yeah,
there for her life. 'Cause
exactly.
What good is it if you're gonna leave her with $100,000?
Yeah.
Her having this chip on her shoulder, hating so many people.
Yeah.
But
That's-
I guess this movie is just—it's supposed to be very real. That
Yeah. That's why I think there's
yeah.
not really any likable characters in this movie. At least
I
for
thought
me.
Liz was the only likable character, just because she truly cared for him. And yeah, I guess she was an enabler, but she
Yeah.
was the only that person was
Uh,
my who was like, problem with her. Biggest problem. With
Yeah.
her. Yeah, it was like she just truly cared about him. She really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Also,
know.
I thought they were gonna do more. There was like a whole analogy in the beginning with that, because when they first revealed the essay, because also they said that the husband or the partner was a former student. So I was like to Alvin, I was like, oh, that's probably the boyfriend.
That's funny.
I told him I said it was the
Yeah,
daughter.
that was the
Oh,
daughters.
really?
He
Yeah, okay.
leaned to me. He
Yeah.
said that was
Yeah,
Ellie's.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought you knew it was Ellie's. I said pretty early. I think that's the daughters.
Uh,
Oh, so I was like, since I thought it was a more well-constructed essay, I was like, oh, it's probably the boyfriend. He's probably
Mhm.
gonna remember that right before he gets killed, before he
Mhm.
dies, which does happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like I wanted them to maybe make more of a connection to that Moby Dick kind of like analogy, but the whole thing was just about like, the author kind of reflecting their issues back onto the audience, and it was kind of like It's an a- analogy for himself. Because the movie is a deep movie, and like, probably there are things that went over my head because I didn't really understand everything that the essay was saying. But like when you think back of it, I think the one line they said was they're trying to make you forget the author's trying to make you forget their own sad life for a brief moment.
Mhm.
So I guess that was Brendan Fraser saying, oh, I'm not gonna really care about myself and my own health. I'm
Mhm.
gonna just give her the money to better her own life, and you can kind of forget about my problems. That's how I kind of took it. I think
Mhm.
it's a very, I think, high con. Like, not, I don't know, high
Well,
concept.
I think
It's
the
like- it's a-
author was for sure Brendan Fraser, because they said,
yeah.
I think, was it Ishmael who is the hunter, and then
And he was in bed with
in bed with
another man.
the other man.
Oh, Kit Kat or whatever. Kid?
Kit Kat. Oh, sorry, never mind.
I thought we said we weren't doing jokes, Alvin.
No, I didn't know what Elmeet said, so I just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so that they're like, laying in bed together, and then, yeah. So, what do you guys think about it being called The Whale? Yeah.
I don't really know what else.
What was the meaning for that?
It was just
Moby
he's
Dick.
he's Moby Dick.
That's it.
He's just the whale. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way I saw it was maybe he's the captain and the whale.
I thought he was the captain.
He's
for
both.
sure.
I think he's both. And the fat version of himself is Moby Dick, and he's trying to kill himself.
I don't know.
It's a high concept movie. Darren Aronofsky's known for that.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because there was even moments where it's like, I thought even the way they depicted the binge eating, I was like,
That was.
dude, this is like problematic.
It was
Or-
utterly disgusting.
But that's real. It's so real.
No, yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
it can be very triggering,
Yeah.
right? Like you guys said, but
Because like they show him, he has like a drawer, like a cabinet full of like Three Musketeers, Kit Kat, all these candy.
yeah, I felt so sad when you just go through his apartment and then you see just liter bottles of Diet
Pepsi,
Coke
Diet
and
Pepsi
all of
laying
that.
around.
It's so sad.
Soda's the worst thing you can have.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's just what it is. I think this movie does make you feel uncomfortable, and it makes
It
it is
does.
like we said, it is triggering.
Yeah.
But can any of you guys say that it wasn't like real? Like,
No, it's, I feel like it's completely
Yeah, I
real.
think for sure it is a raw movie, and it is a raw movie for sure. I think it does pull at your heartstrings, but I think for me it was almost just a little 2-1 note where
It was a half.
since everything is sad, nothing really. There was never that big climax because everything was just sad. So
Yeah.
when there was a sad moment, it's like, all right, there are
Yeah.
10 other ones.
But when he cried, I think that was
That was a good one.
You go from either sad or crying, and the when you get the few moments of crying, that's when it really hit me. Because I was telling Alvin, and I said it too. Like, yeah, I got choked up at the end when he was just really. He gave a great
Same.
monologue. It was good.
I think it was a great parallel, I suppose, where she first came in, and then when Ellie first comes to Charlie's house, and she's like, "Oh, walk to me,"
Yeah.
and he couldn't, and that was sad.
And he flipped the table over.
He
on
flipped the
accident.
table, yeah, and then at the end, he knows it's his final moment, so he actually does it. I think that was a great moment.
Did you guys think that he was ever gonna call 911? I thought that had to
hope-
been.
I was hoping it was
I
like,
was
oh, maybe
hoping
that
was
could
the
be his
final
arc.
ending.
That was gonna be the climax.
I thought it was gonna be his arc. It's like, all right, truly
He realizes
kind of finding a reason to live.
Yeah, exactly.
So, spoiler alert: the movie ends with him most likely probably dying.
Definitely dying.
That part was a little bit jarring.
Where
I
he
was just,
ascended into heaven.
yeah, just
Yeah, I thought that was comical too.
okay. I guess
I thought that was like
It was just like you-
Shakespearean. It was very artsy.
yeah, you didn't need to be metaphorical at that point. You can just do a close up of his face and then just closing his eyes, and then it just goes to the beach. You didn't need to have him
I like the beach
Ascend,
shot.
yeah, I
I
was
like
like,
the beach
yeah.
shot.
I love
no, yeah,
the
the beach shot was cool, and I liked
There's
how it
other
did
ways
fade
you
to
can-
white.
You can
agree.
illustrate the same idea.
I agree.
Yeah.
Did it feel
You
like
didn't need him to
cliche?
jump.
Yeah.
Hey, like, oh, he ascends.
It's like
yeah.
he's a messiah or whatever. Like I don't
Yeah.
think you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that
Wait, so maybe, well, I don't know, because Liz said, "Oh, I'll be waiting for you downstairs."
yeah.
So did she mean maybe they did call?
No,
She
Liz,
said- she
Liz
said I was
definitely
gonna call
called
them.
someone.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm calling someone," but I think Charlie
It-
just couldn't make it. He
Uh-huh.
just died.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say, even within the first 20 minutes, I wanted to lean over to one of these guys, and I just wanted to tell them like, I don't know if I can make it through this movie. This movie is just too much.
What moment triggered it? Was it the binge eating, or can
It
you
was-
kind of tell us what moment it was?
It was the binge eating. It was also just kind of like him wallowing in his sadness, and that's the whole movie. But
Yeah.
during the first 20 minutes, it takes a while to acclimate to it because it's just so like sad. Like, it's just everything is sad. Everything is sad.
Mhm.
But after that moment, you kind of get used to it.
Hmm.
But during those, first 15, 20 minutes, it's just relentless. And I
Yeah.
kind of just was like, if I wasn't here watching with you guys, this might have been the first movie I maybe walked out on in a theater.
Yeah.
I never got to that point. Emma,
Yeah.
did you kind of feel
No, I never got to it either. That
Yeah.
point either. I don't think
But
I've
I
ever walked out of a movie.
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
But even by just sheer curiosity, I probably would have wanted to stay just to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think also another thing I suppose where this is a type of movie what I would watch at home, kind of like leading up to the Oscars. This is
Yeah.
not the movie that I would watch in the theaters, but since you guys invited me, I came.
Yeah, because I was gonna watch. I was like, yo, we went to the gym on Wednesday. And said, hey, we shouldn't be going to the gym. I was like, yo, I was there watching the whales today. How about we watch it on Saturday? And he's like, yeah, I got time. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching this movie really makes you never want to miss the gym. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, damn.
I don't
so
know, because for
unfortunate.
you guys, you're saying you wouldn't watch it again. I feel like I
Yeah.
would want to watch it again.
I would not recommend this movie. I would not watch it again. This is a one and done type movie where it's like,
I would recommend it to people because I'm truly curious to see whether or not
It's actually
it lands.
problematic.
Not only
No,
that,
not
but just because I think Brendan Fraser for sure is the best part of the movie. But
Yeah.
I'm curious for other people if they think that the story is truly executed well in the 2 hours. So like, can like Brendan Fraser truly carry this whole movie? I don't know.
I thought he did.
could. I think
I
he
thought he
could.
did.
It's like
Yeah.
John Wick. It's like
It's not like a John Wick. How the fuck? How the fuck is this like John Wick?
Zoom
Yeah,
in.
no,
zoom
seriously,
in.
how is this like
It's
John
a
Wick?
simple story. It's a simple
my
story. It's a
God.
sad story. It's a slice of life in all.
I don't like you calling it slice of life either.
It
Straight
is.
up.
It's a week in this man's life.
It's just a.
Or
Like
is it a character
it's
study? It's one
no,
of
no,
those two.
I'll say this: it's not a slice of life. It's a tearjerker. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
It's not a slice of life because
I think-
You think this is true Oscar bait?
in this movie is 100% Oscar bait. A morbidly obese person
And gay.
who is
Yeah.
terminally ill, who's also gay,
Yeah.
who is a single parent.
Who's trying to
essentially.
reconnect with family?
Yeah, it's like-
broken family, yeah.
Also, the opening shot too was like I guess like Darren Aronofsky really wanted to paint how like disgusting he is. Like they show him like masturbating, and it's like
Yeah.
that's like the first scene that you see of Brendan Fraser. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
And
They
then
really try to pull
So
you in.
remember with Dan, right, the pizza guy?
yeah.
So when he ran away in disgust, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what made him want to kill himself.
Benji, yeah. And I think
That was unfortunate.
yeah, I felt really bad for Charlie because every time he couldn't express
Emotion.
emotion because his elevated heart rate would cause him to wheeze and deteriorate even faster. So even if he wanted to laugh at his daughter or like cry, he'd always feel a pain because it's just like his heart can't handle it.
Mhm.
So he'd always have to kind of
Be like level.
yeah, exactly. I thought that was very sad where you can't kind of experience the highs and lows that life brings you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Any I guess final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm ready to go into scores.
I'll say
Yeah.
I think for my score. Did I think it was a good movie? I'd say yeah, it's a good movie. When I watch
Yeah.
it again, I am kind of interested in watching it. I think
No.
on what it has to say about depression and on like, I guess not on body dysmorphia, but like just on body image and health.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a hard movie to watch, but I liked it. I would give it an A.
An A or 8?
An A.
What would you
Oh.
give it out of 10?
You
don't do 10s.
It's hard to.
So are we just doing
raise
now?
numbers.
He goes based off of
Yeah.
letter
Yeah.
grades. I go out of 10. You go out of 5. So we just have
Yeah.
3 different reviews.
And then Owen does like words.
Yeah.
He's like, this was awesome.
Yeah, I give it an A.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it an A. I'm just so curious. Like, I would want to watch this again with someone that hasn't seen it and just truly see how they. Yeah, exactly, and abbreviate it. Like, cause I think my initial knee-jerk reaction, I give it like a 6. I
Mm.
give it a 6. I think if we're comparing it to like other Oscar bait movies, I don't think this one really compares. It's a problematic movie for sure. I think.
hmm
Yeah, I think. I think there are issues with the movie, aside from the story structure.
hmm
I'll say that much.
I can tag out with you.
Sure.
You can hear your final thoughts, Alvin.
So we have a 8. We have a 6.
A.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Alvin.
2 paws up.
Yeah.
I will say that this is the best movie I've seen of 2023 so far.
It's been a weekend. Yeah. One movie, I
We're-
guess.
Take granted we're watching this January 7th.
So have you watched any movies this year so far?
just this one?
Really, nothing
I
before?
watched Bunny Girl Senpai earlier this year. That was better than this.
Those are okay, whatever.
I did watch. Okay.
No, okay.
Go ahead.
I think I will give this movie maybe like a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. So it gives it a 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have 3 different review systems.
Yeah,
now.
that's a 9
Yeah.
out of 10
Okay,
for
so-
you
so yeah.
layman people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't really convert them. I thought they're just completely.
I think it's
different
like
review
you
systems.
have your own champion. If you align your beliefs with Alvin most of the time on his movie scores, you go off his skill. If you kind of like Amir's, you go off that. You go off mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm really
yeah.
curious if you guys have seen it. Let us know your thoughts, because like Alvin said, it's getting a lot of Oscar buzz, but I think on Rotten Tomatoes it's at like 68.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Last
the
time I saw was
audience score?
66.
92.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty big difference. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious. If you guys seen it, let us know. Yeah. It's I think it's for sure worth watching. I don't know if you had to see it in theaters. We saw it for $9 matinee. I think that's a fair price matinee.
This is not a movie I would watch in theaters. This is something that I would watch when it comes on.
But I was happy because I noticed was the ratio the same ratio that
4:3.
Zack Snyder used?
4x3.
4x3.
Yeah, that's cool. What other movies do that?
It depends on.
I don't think I've seen a movie in theaters that had that ratio.
Lighthouse did that. Lighthouse
I didn't see that in
did
theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we watch it on Prime, I think it still goes by 4x3.
Yeah.
I would say just a quick. If you want to watch a movie with great performances, this is the movie.
Yep.
Sadie Sink was great. Ty Simpkins was pretty good.
Yeah, the kid.
The kid.
Oh.
Thomas.
Huh.
Charlie,
Okay.
fantastic. The wife, she was in one scene, but she was really, really good.
Yeah, I
When
thought
they're together.
aside from Liz, I was like, oh, she was probably the third best. She was
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cool.
Very sad movie, but good performance.
Yeah, just a different type of movie we normally see. It's always like action. So for me, that was a breath of fresh air to see at least a different type of movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's just us checking off. It's me, Omid.
I'm Alvin.
It's me, Aimer. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.